Do you guys remember this girl behind me? Yeah, look at her. She was the girl that claimed that she was getting harassed in the provocative manner on TikTok. She was door dashing and then she decided to open the door and then film the guy who was falling asleep on his couch and his jangling was out, doomling and gobbling everywhere. Now, I made a video about this topic right here when it first dropped because I had heard her say that she opened the door in a TikTok video. I didn't put the actual claim of her saying she opened the door in the TikTok video because I would have to sift through 20 videos and I didn't feel like doing that, but she did say it. And I was hoping you guys would just take me at face value on that. But I made this video correcting myself because nobody took me at face value and they were saying, well, she didn't open the door. You gotta believe victims. And by all means, I do have to believe victims. It is very important to believe people that have said they went through such harassment, but she was claiming a word I didn't enjoy. She was claiming assault, which is completely different. Well, not completely different. They're the same realm ballpark of harassment and assault. Two things that are in the same realm of everything. And I had an issue with the languaging being used, and she was doing this in order to get people to look at her and get outraged for her, cancel the guy, and she was trying to raise money and get money for getting viral on TikTok. Now, that's the entire situation. And it is revealed that I was right the first time. I was right the first time when I said she opened the door. Because she is now arrested. Ooh, you hate to see it. She has felony charges for trying to post a video and getting monetary compensation out of it and, showing a guy who had his giblets out. And that's not good because that exposed him to doxing, harassment, that made the guy seem bad, and through the use of his Ring camera, the police have investigated the matter and have further saw that she opened the door and then began to film the guy, which is disgusting and wrong. Should the guy have been asleep in his house with his giblets out? Yeah, he's fine, he's in his house. She shouldn't have opened the door. That's the basis of what it is. This is a very cut, clean, and dry now that we have some more information about this, but that's all I wanted to tell you. I'm going to give my thoughts about the situation as of now because what we just witnessed, what we just saw, what we saw as a collective was not a mistake in judgment. No, it wasn't her making a little mistake. She did this maliciously. It was a flawless, catastrophic functioning of a system that we all helped build. Money. The internet didn't just get a story wrong, it followed its programming to the letter. The moment that video hit the feed, every algorithmic and psychological trigger was pulled. The underdog narrative, the vulnerable coworker, the predatory male, all gone, all lost in the sea of, oh, maybe she was wrong. Well, it actually is assault and harassment, is this and that, and it was getting crazy. And I had made a very distinct difference because I myself have encountered individuals and have myself been attacked by men and women. I have been attacked by both of the gender, both of the sexes, both of the everything. I've been attacked by boom, both of them. It was crazy. You hate to see it. That's what happened. It sucked. And what happened is that people mistook my words as if everything I say is to be scrutinized, pinned to the dish as if I were a butterfly. I was taken apart and screwed and pulled in every direction. Well, you should believe her. Well, she's actually lying because, women lie. And then it was two sides of two people that I deeply hate. Two extremist sides that I didn't enjoy. One where there's no possibility that she's lying, and then where all women are liars. I'm squarely in the middle, where I like to get all the information first to see what happens, because I've dealt with horrible men and I've dealt with horrible women. But it was a perfect cultural script, pre-written and waiting for characters to fill in the roles, and we, the audience, didn't just watch the play. We stormed the stage, demanding the villain's head before the first act was even over. We didn't even get all the information, didn't even wait for innocent until proven guilty. This isn't a failure of the system to me. This is the system working as designed to identify emotional voltage and amplify it until the circuit burns out. We gotta be honest about the economy at work here. She is now being charged because she wanted to make some money. She framed the situation to make herself seem as though she was getting assaulted. That's not the actuality of what happened here. At worst and at most, you could see a guy sitting there. If his door was cracked open, even if she just left it there and walked the other way and took a picture, she wouldn't have seen it, but she chose to look in and dive deeper. That's my issue with the entire thing. No matter which framing she could have possibly had, there was no way to make it seem as though it was on her side. There were too many holes in the story, so many holes thing going on. And she wanted outrage. I don't think outrage is a byproduct of social media. I believe outrage is the primary currency of social media. And in this economy, a victim can become a billionaire. The trembling voice, the edited cuts, the "I'm shaking right now" captions, these are not signs of authenticity. They are the technical specifications of a high yield emotional investment. The girl with the Doordash story understood the market better than any economist. She packaged a product, which was the trauma of seeing that little legless lizard. Then she knew was in high demand, and the market responded exactly as it was supposed to, with massive instantaneous investment in the form of likes, shares, and furious comments. So much so that 27 people have messaged me asking me for a follow about this video, but I was hesitant to make it because I was right the first time. But now I'm going to correct myself upon correcting myself. The fact that the product was counterfeit only became apparent after the market had already crashed. You guys figured out that the story in itself was filled with holes. And I've seen a lot of phony baloney stories on the internet. And by goodness, this bologna sandwich was tasting pretty rotten. I'm going to give you a little bit of history here, a little bit of lore, a little bit of background for yourself. When I was younger, I was attacked by my teacher. And everybody instantly believed me, but they didn't view it as a motion to do anything about it because the teacher was a very beautiful woman. And I said to myself, okay, must be cool. But the instant a man did it later in my life, everybody instantly believed me. And it was strange. I was confused about the difference between men and women for one, but I was confused by the instant belief. And I discovered a profound corruption. Didn't even hear the guy's story, despite the fact that I knew what happened. I was imagining if I was in his shoes, because I'm a little empathetic when it comes to situations of this variety. I wanted to know. This mantra, believe victims, is important. It was born from a necessary corrective, a century of systemic silencing and discrediting. And I'm very happy that we believe victims. I will never take that away from anyone, and I can't possibly do that. However, the internet has perverted into a reflexive, context-free dogma. We have confused creating a safe place for everyone to come forward with immediately canonizing every accusation as unassailable fact. It is important to believe victims, but it's also important to know if the victim's acting maliciously or if they're even a victim at all. And this is not empathy to believe victims. You have become anti-intellectual. It's intellectual surrender. It's the substitution of a feeling for a process. Due process exists precisely because human beings are flawed. Memory is malleable, and sometimes, you may not believe this, people lie. To abandon the process for the sweet, swift high of moral certainty is to build a justice system on a sugar rush of feeling superior and doing nothing for it. And there's real lasting damage. This isn't a victimless crime of clout chasing. This is an act of arson for the culture of victimhood. Every false claim like this doesn't just burn the accused, it scorches the earth of every genuine victim who follows. You are making this a harder space for genuine victims. It is horrifying to do so. It hands a loaded rhetorical weapon to every bad faith actor who wants to dismiss the entire concept of victimhood. I'll tell you a fun situation happened a while back with my friend. My friend was getting accused all over Facebook. Girl he broke up with said that, well, they never dated and that he was actively doing things against her will. And by all means, he had to show every single dialogue option between them. He actually had to reveal that he had a mangled circumcision and he could barely do anything with his manhood. It was very difficult and painful for him to do the act of coitus. That got exposed to the internet. And then they hate rated the girl because she was a liar. This is one instance of actively happening, but he had to reveal so much of himself for it to happen. He has to reveal the small, intricate details of his life. And what an issue here is that when a false claim comes up, they will point to this one, this fabricated story, and use it as a bludgeon for 1,000 true ones. The girl with the phone, the Doordash girl, didn't just violate one man's privacy. She poured poison into the well of public trust, and we all will be tasting the bitterness for years to come. We have turned trauma into a genre of entertainment, and we should not be surprised when people start auditioning for the lead role of the most traumatized, of the most victimed, of the most, when suffering becomes a path to visibility, to community, to financial support, we have created perverse incentives. This is the issue here, right? Because right now, I have very bad nerve damage. I'm on Lyrica right now, hence why I'm standing and doing great. But even me with my GoFundMe right now, people are saying, you're just using your fans. I'm not even encouraging you to donate, to be quite honest with you. I just got the GoFundMe up. This is for my physical therapy and my nerve graft, which I would hope to get. That's really all I want. I would love to stand and make videos again. That's it. That's all I'd like to do. Because I lost my job, I would be working if it not for the little bit of online fame I amassed and the fact of my fear for my safety when I go out in public for most days. It's messy. It's very messy for a lot of things that happen in my life. But it's the non-belief of me being cursed to prove my situation over and over again. We have built a stage where the most compelling performance is often the most devastating one. It isn't any wonder that someone eventually decided to fabricate their devastation. They were simply following the blueprint for success we've all been promoting. So to close off my thoughts about this entire situation, the solution to what this false victim has brought to our attention should not be cynicism. I don't want it to be, oh, guess what? We don't believe another victim. That's stupid. The answer is not to stop believing. The answer is to start thinking. I need you guys to reintroduce the pause between stimulus and response. That pause that lets you think, lets you actually have a constructive thought. To demand that our platforms and ourselves value accuracy as much as we value velocity. But people don't do that. You have to understand that true support for victims means demanding rigorous truth, not settling for convenient fiction. The rage machine will always be hungry for fuel. Our job is to stop feeding it our humanity. Because the next time this happens, and it will, the person being torn apart by the digital mob might not be a passed out drunk guy in his own home. It might be you. And you will look at the sea of furious, certain faces and realize too late that they are not interested in their truth. They are only invested in their story. Thank you. I would like to point out two things at the end here. You guys can leave the video if you're not curious in my personal situation and my plight. Go ahead and get up out of here. Now then, I have a GoFundMe, as I mentioned midway through the video. You go ahead and check that in the top comment. It's for my nerve pain. The original goal was set at 25,000. I increased it to 50 G's. 50 G's. Because the first 25,000 goes for my family, and now the rest is for me. Simply for my nerve pain and to help me out get on my feet again because I lost my job because of a Charlie Kirk situation, which sucks endearly. So if you want to help out with that, you're more than welcome to help. I would appreciate any support. $1, $2, $3, 50 cents, anything helps, honestly. But outside of that, if you cannot support financially, I also have a sponsor for this video. The sponsor is freecash.com. Now, you don't have to use freecash.com. Your call. Don't really matter to me. But every time someone signs up, I get $6. You get paid for playing video games. That's the entire premise of the entire app. It works. I tested it. You don't have to. It works. It just works. It works. But if you don't want to use the app or don't trust it, I get $6 per sign up. It's in the top comment as well as a link. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I love you. Bye.
I'm your Nick and Night, be my Laurel. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.